Today we have cherry plum. This comes to us from my good friend Tuffy Marginez, and it's going to be an unusual piece, isn't it? How am I going to mount that? Well, I'm going to show you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as we like to say here at Shady Acres Woodshop. Howdy, let's get to it. Pardon the fan noise, that's my heater running because it's 38 degrees out here. It's an odd looking piece, right? It is cherry plum, which is usually quite beautiful. However, I assume this is like a branch section or something, and I don't really see any heartwood in there. I don't know what we're going to get out of it as far as color goes. We're just kind of looking for the unusual today, and I think we might have found that. It's about 5 inches tall, 7 inches by 6 inches on the bottom, about 2 3/4 inch diameter. I'm going to do some turning from about here, somewhere around here, I don't know, up. Maybe stop here and leave bark around the top, maybe not, I don't know. Just a little turning down in this area just to reveal some of the wood grain, hopefully color. And the way I'm going to mount it is right there on the bottom. And I've taken my wood that I use. This seems to work quite well for a lot of things. And I've put double face tape on here, and I'm going to peel off that blue color, and then you can see I have a center hole there. That'll be where my tailstock goes. On the bottom I took this over to my belt sander and flattened it off so it's nice and flat. It'll set very nicely flat, and I'm going to try and arrange this on here somehow to get the most coverage on that tape. And the tape is what's going to hold it for the small amount of turning that we're going to do. So I'll turn, like I said, I'll turn the top part and I'll hollow it out, and I don't know what we're going to call it. I don't think it'll be a bowl exactly. It might be a candle holder or a little dish or something. I don't know. So I've got a hole here for my woodworm screw. We're going to get this mounted up and get to turning. So this little piece of plywood is just going to be held on my woodworm screw. I had to put a spacer on here because the screw's too long. It would come through this board, so that's why the spacer's there. And the hardest part about this is getting that tape separated, get the blue part off of there. Okay, maybe that's not the hardest part. So now I'm going to line up that little hole with my tailstock and bring the tailstock up near where we want to be. And that hole's important. That center up here is important because that tells us where everything else has to be. And I'm trying to get this arranged to get all of those bottom legs touching. I don't think we're going to get much of this one, if anything at all. So I'm just going to slowly bring up my live center here, get as close as I can without touching, because once it's on there, it's on there. You don't really get to reposition much. I'm not real happy with what we got going on there. This is just about to touch, about 1/2 inch of it, maybe a little bit more. And I think that's about the best we can do right there. Okay, now I got a whole lot of pressure on there. And I said we were going to get to turning, but we're not. That's going to be tomorrow because it's already late in the day. So I'm just going to let that set overnight with pressure against it. And tomorrow we'll start turning, like I said, from here up. I have a few ideas what I want to do, but I don't have them verified exactly. That's actually a lot of contact area. And even this is making contact. Not much, but some. So I think we'll be okay. So I'll see you tomorrow when it's supposed to be even colder. Oh, good. See you tomorrow. I just looked at the thermometer in the shop here. 34 degrees. It's like 36 outside. So I got the door open, hoping to bring some of that heat in here. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I get comments, you know, which I love. I truly love the comments. Thank you so much for chatting with me. But I get comments that say, can you show an overhead shot? What you're looking at right now is typical angle for a bowl turning. But we're doing a spindle turning here. For me, a spindle turning calls for a shot that's up there looking down this way, but what happens with that is the piece or my light or something blocks the view of the tool. Now some people like that overhead shot. In fact, I was requested to do it, and I've been doing it more than I used to. But today I got a comment about, I don't like that overhead shot, I can't see the tool. It's just life as a guy on YouTube, I guess. I can't make everybody happy. I'll try and, I always try and get the best shot I can, and I'll move you around as we go through this, but it's just kind of funny to me. The other thing is, I don't spend a lot of time talking about safety. What I do makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Some of the things I do, I should say, like wearing a watch and wearing long sleeves and rolling my sleeves up. It's either long sleeves or rolled up, but either one makes people nervous. And if I had a ring, I'd wear a ring. Well, I do have it, but I don't wear it anymore. Anyway, so those sorts of things, I get comments all the time about safety. I do what I feel is safe for me. However, I would encourage you to look your piece over before you get started. Imagine your cut. Imagine that first cut. What's going to happen? Where are your hands? Where are your fingers? And in this case, we're pretty good here. We're pretty safe. As I said, I'm only turning the upper portion of this, maybe from halfway down, up, something along those lines. But we have this little gizmo. And when I'm over here making this cut, that's about an inch and a half from my hand. And I can't recommend it. It's going to be spooky. And when this part right here comes around, it's going to want to hit the chisel, bounce me back towards that. So I have to be ready for that. I have to have my tool firmly on the tool rest and not let it bounce back that way, because that will hurt, I can promise you. This end right here is pretty sharp. I thought about wearing gloves just for the tiny bit of protection they would offer. I would still get a huge bruise and probably cut right through the glove anyway. But, that's what I'm saying is look the piece over. Don't do anything you're not comfortable with. It's so important to feel safe. You need to feel safe. I feel safe when I work, and I want you to feel safe, and I want you to be safe. If you don't feel safe, you're not going to do a very good job. You're going to be scared. I've seen people, it seems like it's the first time they ever used a lathe, and they come out here and they're shaking and they grip the thing with a death grip, and then they just shove it in there and hope for the best. It's kind of like they're looking away, you know what I mean? Close their eyes, turn away, and shove it in there. And you can't be like that. You have to be comfortable. You have to know that you got a good grip on here. It's not going to come off on you. You have to know that whatever cut you're going to make is safe, like that. So just a word to the wise. I'm very aware of this. So hopefully I don't get too involved in what I'm doing here and forget about this little guy. I don't think I will. We're going to be turning at 700 RPM, 3/8 inch bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. What do we got? Well, I guess I'll go in further till all this is gone. I know it doesn't look like much yet, and it may never look like much, I don't know. And maybe I want to leave some of this. I don't know that either, but I don't think so. And I'm not liking this. I talked about leaving a little border of bark up here, but I don't think so. There's plenty of bark down this way. I don't really know what I have in mind here exactly. I've turned about as much as I want to turn as far as height wise. I guess I was thinking like a little cup type of a thing, not with a handle, not that kind of cup, like a candle cup. Does that make sense? I don't know what else you call them. Thing that holds a little candle. I'm not really showing much imagination here yet, am I? But I see a little bit of purple in there, cherry plum, and it's got some purple in it, so that's good. Yeah, I'm stalling. I'm thinking, maybe this isn't going to look good at all. I don't know. I'd like to smooth this out a little bit. Maybe this way, huh? Easier said than done. Yeah, that's worse. Well, we're not done. I guess I really wanted to go in thinner here. Well, that's driving me crazy. I'm going to use this scraper to clean that up a little bit. That's better. Not good. I know, I'm not happy with it either. I know, you hate it. I'm going to switch to a 1/2 inch gouge. 3/8 might be a little small for this piece. And I'm going to try and bring this down smaller. I want to try and keep this about as big as it is, which is about 2.5 inches right now. I thought this might be good for a 2-inch candle, but maybe it's going to have to be a votive candle or something. So I'm just going to come in here and work it away till this is smaller. I'd like to give this some other shape, but I can't remove much in order to hold the candle. I guess it doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be a candle holder. It certainly isn't a bowl. I don't know what else it is, but it could just be something to look at, I guess. But that's pretty close at this angle. I picked the speed up to what? 750. I'm just trying to give it some kind of dang shape. That does look better already. That looks better. Not saying it looks good. It's going to look a whole lot better with a hole in the top. Yeah, just keep telling yourself that, Phil. Well, maybe it needs to be even smaller in there. Yeah, I think that's small enough. I just have to have some other kind of shape. I don't know. Maybe it was just a bad idea to start with. I don't know, what do you think? This will be flat. Mostly rounded here, but flat. I don't know a way to improve it. I don't know if it looks like anything at all or just something silly. But it is what it is. It's what we have. I'm not going to give up on it, but I don't know that I can make it look any better than it does. I guess I will drill it out or turn it out or hollow it out or something. Back to 3/8. Maybe before I go any farther, I'll go see if I can find a votive candle or whatever. I'll be back. Well, you know, I know there's a million votive candles in the house somewhere, but I can't find them. But I did find something else. So this is not going to be a candle holder. And I'm kind of even happy with what I found, which I'll tell you all about later. But this is not a 5-legged candle holder. This is a 5-legged something else holder. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is I figured I better address these cracks. So what I have here, some fine ground sawdust or wood chips from the piece. I ground those up in my little coffee grinder. And then I'm just going to apply shellac now. Well, not shellac, shellac-based sanding sealer, so that when I use CA and those wood chips, it won't stain the wood. Now obviously I'm not done turning here, it's still a very rough turning, but I need to be able to turn this away because my wood chips filler in those cracks is probably going to be sticking up above the cracks, so I need to be able to turn it away. So I'm not turning it down to final shape yet. It is close. It won't be much different than what you see here. Okay, so I'll bring you back when it's all done and we'll move on. See you in a bit. Okay, that's the inside. Now the outside. Don't forget this little gizmo. Boy, that's pretty close. It's even close to this. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm going to use my 5/8" bowl gouge and scrape it, shear scrape it. Then I don't have to get way over there like that. I'm just going to use the bottom edge of the bowl gouge to scrape along there like that. I think I can pull that off. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. I'm pretty happy with that. Time for sanding. I'm going to start the sanding with my Sandoflex. If anyone's never seen one of these before, I have a video on how to fill this. There's a big reel of sandpaper that goes inside of this, and you just loosen this nut, unscrew this a little bit, pull some more out, tighten it back up, you're good to go. I've been using these for years. I used to sell them 50 years ago when I worked in a hardware store. It's a wonderful tool, especially for wood turning. I used it when I did woodworking after using a router on the edge of something or whatever. This cleans it up real nice. And this is not a commercial, but if you've never seen one of these and you think it's handy, I'll show you how I'm going to use it. Supergrit.com is the best place to get them that I found online. They've got the best selection of refills and the best pricing as well of anyone I've seen. And if you go there and if you buy some of the refills, buy their refills. Don't buy the Sandalflex refills. The Super Grit refills are a lot less expensive and they last a lot longer. Just a lot longer. So I'm going to be using 120 grit and then 180 grit on the bark, and that's as fine as I like to go on the bark, is 180. It does a real nice job of cleaning it up, smoothing it out, but it doesn't change how it looks. And I'll show you that in just a moment. When I'm done with that, I'm going to switch to my 2-inch disc starting at 120 grit, and I'm only going to use it probably right here a little bit. I could do some of this, but I can't get in here with it, and I certainly can't get in there with it. So I'll be doing a lot of this as well. I'll just have the piece spinning, holding this on the inside, holding this on the outside, like that. Anyway, I'll show you what all that looks like as soon as I get my mask on. Oh, and if you do go to supergrit.com, and I don't get anything for this either, it just has my name on it, that's all. I don't get a commission, I don't get anything. I don't get anything if you go there and buy everything they own. I get nothing. I'm just telling you because it is the very best place. But anyway, there is a Shady Acres kit that you can get, and it has the basic Sandalflex in it, and then it has some of the grits that I like to use, which is 120 and 180. You get all of that for a discount price, and then they'll throw in some extra sanding supplies as well. So it's a great place to go. Not a commercial. I don't get anything. I'm just telling you in case you're interested. So like that, and then maybe I could even spin that up. Got the lathe spinning in reverse at about 360. I can do a little bit of this, but I can't get in that corner. So that's where this will come in. So that's how I'll be doing that. Not too bad. I'll bring it back here in a bit and we'll put some kind of finish on there. See you in a bit. I'm curious to see if we get any color out of this. It can be plum color, cherry plum. But like I said, there's not much heartwood here. Mostly down here on the base probably. It was kind of a pain to sand it. I knew it would be. And son of a gun, I was right again. Real curious what you think about this thing so far. I think you might like it with the idea I've come up with, the use for it. Maybe some of you have figured it out. It's obvious once you know the answer. Oh yeah, good idea. But like so many of my pieces, it's not really meant to be used. I wouldn't use it for what I'm going to call it. It's mostly just to look at. It did sand up real smoothly, even the bark. Nice and clean and smooth. And speaking of bark, that's what's really going to make this stand out. As you can see, I'm probably going to have to do some of this after I get it off of the mounting that it's on. I had to stop for a while and go to an appointment, so I got home. It's 5:30 when I got home. So the sun has set. It's 29 degrees outside. It's about 33 in here. It's good that I'm doing this at the end of the day. It'll have all night to dry. See, that really dresses it up, don't you think? Okay, that's generally what it's going to look like. I'll put on 2 coats of this sanding sealer and then 2 coats of shellac, and get it off of here and I'll bring you back and we'll take a look at this thing sitting upright and doing its purpose. See you tomorrow. Be sure you stick around at the end of the video so you can see the before and after shots of this piece. If you'd share the video, I'd really appreciate it. Well, here it is. One cherry plum what? What is it? It's not a candle holder. It's odd. Cherry plum odd piece. What do you think this is? What does it look like to you? It does look like something. Yeah, it does. Once you know the answer, can you figure it out? Not a candle holder. It's an egg cup. It's an egg cup. It's hard to get that to sit still. I couldn't find any candles in the house that would fit in there, but my wife collected eggs, all kinds of eggs. And I kind of like this particular one because it kind of matches the purplish bark. It'll stay upright, but not if I jiggle it around like that. Then I have this one. This is a musical one. And I think she has like 3 of these in there. You shake it and it makes a little tone. Very odd egg. But it's an egg. And then I have one more. And I think this is some kind of stone. It's very heavy. It's also purple. Hold it still. Hold it still, Phil. Hold it still. It's an egg cup. Yep. Egg cup. Once it's sitting still, but with me holding it, it's just not going to happen. But I think I like that first one the best. Kind of cool looking. So what do you think? I'm real curious what you think, I can tell you that. It was fun to make, kind of a challenge, but we got her done without getting any injuries. I'm glad about that. Thank you, Tuffy Marginez, for sending this along for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please, I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. I also appreciate that you took some of your time to spend with me today. That means so much to me, thank you kindly. I'm looking forward to your comments. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.